Hey everyone, this is David Brown with the hawk migration update for September 12th, 2022. The broad-winged hawk migration is just starting to ramp up different places, so it's fun to look at the different totals. So let's start by looking at Hawk Ridge in Minnesota from yesterday, September 11th. And if we take a look, they had 1,520 broadwings, so their first really big day. And in the eastern US, it was a lot rainier, so the totals are lower, but let's take a look at some totals from today. If we look at the Alton Bay Hawk Watch in New Hampshire, today they had 90 broadwings, and I thought it was funny under their visitors. 7 visitors, including the grumpy farmer who complained about environmentalists who live in condominiums. Who, me? Mount Watatic in Massachusetts had 55 broadwings today, and Quaker Ridge in Connecticut had 100 Sharpies today, as well as only 5 broadwings. Now, taking a look at the weather, this is the frontal map for Tuesday morning, and we'll see that a cold front will have pushed through overnight. And down here in Delaware, it's actually going to be clearing up pretty nicely, but we'll see that farther north and up into New England, just a lot of rain as that cold front continues to push through. So I think what that means for a lot of sites is that the numbers will be relatively low tomorrow because of the rain. And even farther south where it's clearing, might not be that many birds just because the weather farther north holding them up. So if we take a look then at midday, we can just see that front pushing farther and farther. And then we see by Tuesday evening, things are really starting to clear up as we get more into high pressure over the region. That should bring sunny conditions the rest of the week, and hopefully a lot of broadwings. At the Ashland Hawk Watch today here in Hockessin, Delaware, it was overcast in the morning with some stray showers. I didn't get out until the afternoon when it was starting to clear up. You can see it turned into a pretty nice day with a lot of cumulus clouds and some blue sky. But we did have light southerly winds that prevented much of a flight at all. We had a few birds, but nothing too exciting. And then by the end of the day, we were seeing a lot more clouds moving in from the west as those storms were moving into the region ahead of the cold front. As I'm filming this, it's around 9 o'clock. We just had some rain go through. And then, like I said, that cold front will push through our region tonight. But farther north, there will remain rain throughout the day tomorrow. I only took a few bird photos today. Here's an adult bald eagle. Here's another adult bald eagle that flew over just a minute later and quite a bit lower. And here's a common nighthawk that was one of a half dozen or so that we had in the afternoon. For the eBird checklist, there's 2 separate ones. One that Joe Sebastiani did in the morning when he was the counter. Had a couple highlights. He had 2 kingbirds still. It's getting late for those. He had a raven, blue-gray gnatcatcher, some bobolinks, that kind of stuff. And then in the afternoon, I just had 33 species while I was there, and nothing super rare or exciting, but we did have 2 ravens at one point. And taking a look at our totals from today at hawk count, we had 1 osprey, 2 bald eagles, 1 northern harrier, 1 Cooper's hawk, 2 red-shouldered hawks, 2 red-tailed hawks, 3 American kestrels, and 2 merlins for a total of 14 migrants. And for the forecast, I just made a note that this week we're really entering the time that we can get decent broad-winged hawk flights, which I consider to be 100 plus birds, up to a few hundred. I was looking at the past seasons, and sometimes by now we've had days with 300, 400 broadwings. Other season it's been, maybe another week or so until we started really seeing good numbers. But with the nice weather this week, really hoping to see some nice kettles of broadwings forming this week. And still on the early end for the peak days, which would be 1,000 plus birds. So maybe by the end of this week into the weekend, those big numbers become a possibility. But until we start seeing larger numbers at sites north of us, either in Pennsylvania, it seems like the Pennsylvania Ridge sites usually get the big numbers before we do, even though we're not getting the same birds necessarily. And we also keep an eye on New England, of course, and I just haven't seen the big numbers up there yet. So if you figure it's going to be rainy in that region again tomorrow, it might be until Wednesday that they start getting decent flights up in New England, and then give it, Thursday, Friday for them to trickle down to us. So I'd say by the end of this week into the weekend, we should start seeing decent numbers, but maybe we'll be surprised tomorrow since we do have nice weather. Anything that's in the region already might move through. So if we look at the forecast for tomorrow, it's calling for partly cloudy skies, high around 79, winds west at 10 to 15, and These are kind of interesting winds because so far this season we've really had a lot of light winds from various directions, from the northeast and the south, but we haven't really had a moderate westerly wind, so could have a decent day tomorrow. Just nice to get a bit more of a breeze than we felt. Will make it feel a little cooler at least. I said good conditions as the skies clear after the passage of the cold front. So could be a decent day overall. Even if we're not seeing tons of broadwings this time of year, the numbers of osprey and bald eagles and American kestrels can be decent this time of year, given the right conditions. So they're a little bit more predictable on the decent winds, whereas the broadwings are really more random and hit or miss, just depending on where the flocks end up. For Wednesday, we're looking at mainly sunny, a high near 80, winds west-northwest at 5 to 10. So again, these are pretty good conditions. Sunny with light winds are good conditions for generating thermals, but if we don't have many clouds, it can be difficult to spot the birds, especially when they're up high in the afternoon. And for Thursday, again, we're looking at sunny skies, a high in the mid-70s, and winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So again, a bit of a stronger breeze than we've had for the past week or so. So that's looking like another good day. And then after that, it's looking like continuing good weather. So like I said earlier, just this whole week is really looking like beautiful weather once this rain finally clears out over the next day or so. All right, that's it for today. And this is always an exciting time of year, getting to follow where all the broadwings are coming through and who's getting the big numbers and who got small numbers. Just a lot of surprises this time of year. And I know here at the Ashland Hawk Watch, we're really looking forward to the next few weeks as the migration picks up and hoping to have a good year for broadwings. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of these updates. From eBird, this is David Brown. Thanks for watching.